I'm Maryam Ghaznavi. I am the owner and chef of Malika Canteen and Ma'am Saab. Today I'm going to be making vegetable pakoras for you. The name Ma'am Saab, it's a funny kind of take on boss lady pakoras. They go really well with the chai, which is an evening kind of gathering that we have in our households. So I'm gonna make a recipe that is super basic. I'm gonna start with a big bowl. I have chickpea flour. Chickpea flour is an absolute go-to flour in any Pakistani Indian cuisine. It's gluten-free, so that just kind of checks off a huge kind of concern for a lot of people. I can use just the chickpea flour, but I like to kind of go in and add a little bit of the rice flour because that was going to give it more crispy and more fluffy. So if it's 3 parts chickpea flour, you just go in with 1 part rice flour just to create that fluffy, crispy texture. From this point on, we just go ahead and add our kosher salt, a seasoning right here. I'll start with some cumin. Again, one of the main spices. You cannot probably make anything without cumin in Indian Pakistani cuisine. Turmeric. I have some chili powder. Chili powder has a lot more heat, but less color and aroma. But then you bring in your Kashmiri chili powder, and that is just gorgeous color and aroma. It doesn't have as much heat, but this is going to give you that beautiful red color. I have some garam masala, which is a mix of a lot of earthy spices. You don't want too much of it. It can get a little bit strong for some flavors. Now we can start adding some of our ingredients into it. We have some serrano chilies. They have heat. Dry fenugreek. Again, you should always have that in your pantry. This is a spice that is underrepresented, and it needs a lot of attention. It goes really well in your ingredients as part of it and as also as a garnish. I have some fresh cilantro. You can never cook anything without cilantro. Just mix it up a little bit. Now we can go in with our 3 main ingredients for the pakora. Now this is the basic, and then you can go in and replace any of this with whatever you would like. You can do proteins like chicken, shrimp. You can do cheese like paneer. You can also do mushrooms. This is just a nice batter to kind of coat anything that you want and make like into fritters. This is kind of my go-to, which is fresh spinach and some red onions. I prefer red onions over white. They are crunchier and have a little bit more of the kick to it. And I'm going in with some potatoes. Potatoes are actually already boiled, so it would actually cook faster. If you prefer, you can go in with raw potatoes. Just dice them smaller, so then they will cook at the same time. I'm gonna go in with water now. And again, add just a little bit so you can find your perfect consistency. These vegetables are going to release water, so you don't want to start off with a lot of water. You'll start to see how the batter is starting to coat the veggies. This, for me, is a perfect consistency. We can leave it right here. We have vegetable oil that's been heating up. I just take a spoonful, not too big because it's gonna then not cook from the inside. And we're gonna drop it right in the middle. And so it's gonna sit together. You can already see it's not sticking, it's kind of floating, it's cooking through. It's gonna create a nice golden crisp on the outside. I'm gonna slightly flip, just making sure they're not sticking. You see, this is kind of where we're at. It's already gorgeous. I'm just gonna let it cook a little bit more. So make sure you have a vessel with some kind of a paper. I like using newspaper just because this reminds me again back home. This is how it was served on the streets. These ones look pretty done to me. One way you can check them is once we take them out, open this up, you should be able to see that there's no wet batter and it's super crispy from the outside but a little bit soft on the inside. This is like a mixture of Kashmiri chili, red chili powders, and chaat masala. And this one goes beautifully on every single thing that we eat, from fries to pakoras. I have this mixture here called chaat masala. If you are gonna buy one thing, buy chaat masala. It has a dry mango powder in it, which just kicks everything up to the next level. A little bit of your cilantro and the fenugreek. I'm Maryam Ghaznavi. I am the chef and owner of Malika and Ma'am Saab, and this is my recipe for vegetable pakoras.